Good afternoon. Thank you for creating time for us. You are in time for the latest updates. My name is Irene Muchuma Odem. On sign language interpretation is Lanza Odingo. It is the 20th day in the month of February 2023. We have lots ahead in this bulletin. In business, we'll be dealing with matters circle. My colleague Kawarimo Njenga will be joining us in this bulletin, and the IEBC tribunal is underway in the county of Nairobi. Let's interact on all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. Now, a section of persons living with HIV in Busia County are calling on the government to support them with food supplies. The group says the rising cost of food, which is posing a threat to their dietary needs to be addressed. Busia Woman County Representative Catherine Omanyo pledged to support them, develop sustainable economic projects to cushion them against the rising inflation. Similar sentiments were echoed by a non-governmental organization in the region.
Na hauna kitu ya kukula ama mtoto anameza dawa na hana kitu ya anaweza kula.
And access to food will actually help the immune system to be stronger. So this is going to be one of our main focus now in Busia with education.
Watoto wa age miaka 15 hadi 25 wanaambukizwa sana ukimwi kwa sababu wamejiachilia, hawataki kujikinga.
Bado hii virusi iko na tuwe waangalifu sana, tuwe watu ambao pia wanajikinga.
Residents of Gitwamba village in Gatundu, Kiambu County are up in arms over the security threat posed by Karimeru 2 Dam after a man drowned in it. They say the dam has been left without a fence, hence posing danger to those residing next to it.
A 38-year-old man identified as Samuel Kinyanjui is reported to have been alone on Saturday evening, and he reportedly drowned as he was looking for a bridge to cross to the other ridge of Githinji village to meet his brother. The irate villagers says the unfenced facilities is a major safety to them.
We have been trying to tell them that they help us with the fencing of the dam, and up to date, they have not yet responded.
Led by Lilian Jerry Gichui, who is a relative to Kinyanjui, the irate villagers blame the government for not fulfilling its promises to fence the dam.
Naomba governor wa Kiambu, Kimani wa Matangi, atusaidie na divers, wakuje watutolee mwili yake, at least tukue in peace. Saizi tunakaa tumehangaika, hatujui tutafanya nini, hatuwezi lala, mwili yake iko kwa maji.
Kinyanjui is said to have suffered anguish after all his 3 cows recently died mysteriously, leaving him without an alternative source of livelihood, resulting in his drowning due to distress. Residents are calling on rescuers and divers from Kiambu County government to help them retrieve Kinyanjui's body. Lucy Uside for Lunchtime News.
Hundreds of residents from Archers Post and Larisoro villages in Samburu East constituency have benefited from a free medical camp conducted by medics from the Kenya Defense Forces and the United States of America military. According to the KDF operations officer for the exercise, dubbed Operation Justified Accord 23 Major Stanley Norman Wanyama, the medical camp is part of activities aimed at giving thanks to the local community in Samburu County for their cooperation and allowing the military officers to conduct their various training drills in the area. He said the military medics managed to attend to at least 300 patients on Saturday at the Archers Post Level 3 Hospital before the camp moved to Larisoro village.
Today we have managed to attend to about 300 cases, majorly dealing with non-communicable diseases such as hypertension, high blood pressure, and children with special needs, maternal cases, diabetes, and mostly allergic conditions.
Dawa zipatikane huku mara kwa mara. Unakuja hapa unatibiwa, unaambiwa enda chemist ununue dawa, na mtu maybe ana uwezo wa kununua hiyo dawa chemist. So unaona watu wengi wanaenda nyumbani bila kununua dawa. dawa ama bila kutibiwa kwa sababu ya ile cost, uwezani kununua dawa.
So there's some minor infections that we have been able to treat, and that way there are some other things that we don't normally see that were interesting, and that was the two snake bite victims that had older snake bites that had possible infection due to the latter snake bites.
All right, Major General Peter Kimani has assumed duty as Deputy Force Commander of the Africa Union Transition Mission of Somalia. Kimani took over with a committing to restore and maintain stability to the war-torn Somalia. Major General Kimani replaces Major General Legasa Kabede, who concluded his tour of duty last year, having served from 2021.
I look towards joining my colleagues whom I have just met to ensure that together we can be able to ensure that there is stability or it is a success for ACMIS and for the general good of the Somali people.
National government, we'll handle that story later on. Now, leaders from Navaholo constituency, Kakamega County, have been forced to convene an education stakeholders meeting after schools in the constituency posted poor results in the last year's national examinations. They cited the rapid transfer of teachers as the major issue that has contributed to poor results in the area.
In TSC, that we are also human beings, our children need teachers. Don't remove teachers from Navaholo. So if you hear the CEO, myself will go there. If you can't go to her, may you speak to her every day. And if you see another teacher leaving, then me and say, Mr. Nigeria refused, then it will be a problem between you and me.
I know I sometimes make some day patrols. I get students strolling around the road. Ukiwauliza munaenda wapi? Nasema tutafukuzwa school fees. And we have specific days in which you have the issues of school fees. Wakati wanafunzi wanatakiwa kwenda nyumbani kuleta school fees.
Motherhood roles should go beyond the ordinary, and parents should cultivate a culture of togetherness with their children to boost the performance of schools. These were the sentiments that emerged from the Metkei Girls School in Elgeyo Marakwet County, where more than 1,000 mothers were celebrated for their roles in parenting and mentorship of children. During the celebrations, parents were allowed to bond with their daughters in a bid to remind society of the critical roles of parenting and at the same time listen to students' challenges. According to the school principal, the special day is also used to celebrate motherhood and incorporate parents to engage more in the lives of the girls to help achieve the holistic growth of their children.
They're able to interact with their children. They're able to share, not just about the academic engagements, they're also able to share about their feelings about the school, their feelings about, their social lives.
We're trying to remind mothers on their roles as far as holistic girl-child development is concerned. It is very critical that a mother knows how to walk her girl the journey towards the fulfillment of her academic dream.
Nataka kusema siku hii imekuwa siku speciali, siku ambayo sijawahi iona. Msichana wangu hapa Metkei ni karibu wale wa kitinda mimba. But this day has been Metkei has made it a special day for us. I've never had such a day.
Tumepata upendo wa wazazi wetu, nasi tumefurahi sana. Kila mmoja wetu ameweza kujumuika na tunajua kwamba wazazi wetu wanatupenda. Akina mama tuwapenda sana. Nyinyi ni mmetuongoza kwa mengi na tunasema ni shukrani.
Of artificial intelligence in the tech world has revolutionized human interaction with machines. If AI doesn't scare you, then ChatGPT, the latest invention by a US tech firm, should. In this special feature, our reporter Trevor Ngendo explores the chat box, which has caught the world by storm since its launch late last year, focusing on its threat to replace human beings at workplaces, its impact on education, and its limitations. Take a look.
Still late last year, Apple's Siri, Google Now, Amazon's Alexa, and Microsoft's Cortana were the most common digital assistants helping users to perform diverse tasks. This fear was, however, upset by the arrival of the chat-generative pre-trained transformer, commonly referred to as ChatGPT. Created by OpenAI, a firm based in the United States, ChatGPT is a chatbot capable of generating human-like text based on input received or simply question and answer style involving human dialogue between you and the AI. It allows you to ask it pretty much anything you want. Let me show you how it works. Here, I'll tell ChatGPT to draw a week-long gym meal plan, putting all entries in a table. Impressive, it did just that. I'll tell ChatGPT to respond to a complaint via email from one of our viewers in Kinangop, Nyandarua County, who is experiencing some technical hitches on our frequency. Let's see. In just 10 seconds, it did just that. Excellent. On programming, I want to tell ChatGPT to create a one-page website in JavaScript for my car sales company. And the results are impressive. AI specialists say digital assistants such as ChatGPT tend to make work easy and save time. I caught up with Humphrey Muchuma, the founder and managing director of Inua AI Solutions in Nairobi, to hear his opinion.
Well, AI, we are told, is supposed to basically augment and enhance, human intelligence. And that's what it's geared for. We're not looking at humans being replaced. But what you're going to see in the near future will be some kind of a symbiotic kind of relationship between machines and humans.
To see its impact on education, I copied a question from a previous exam paper and pasted it into ChatGPT. The chatbot accurately gave the right answer. So, are institutions of higher learning ready for this? Fred Ogola, a professor at Strathmore Business School, says cheating in examinations could increase and force institutions to spend more in curbing the vice.
The universities, just like any other sector, could be ill-prepared to deal with this because there's a possibility for you to be able to cheat using it. But of course, there is what is called AI detector. The AI detector, if you take a thesis written either a PhD student or a master student, you can put that in the AI detector to detect for you the percentage of the AI content in your thesis, and that can be able to moderate or mediate the cheating in universities.
Ogola further opines that change is inevitable, and thus institutions will have to restructure to be able to adapt to emerging technologies.
So you go and do master's, PhD in robotics to know how to work with robots. So there will be faculty teaching on AI. So they will not be teaching anymore, just teaching normal ways that writing thesis. You'll be teaching how to write thesis using AI. So in the university now we have a lecture called a lecturer in research methods. So they'll be called research methods in AI, not research methods in Google. So things will just change, but their needs will still be served.
Besides the excitement in the possibilities these AI breakthroughs provide, they have, however, caused fears of job losses as major firms have started laying off their staff. Its impact has been felt in jobs such as the creative industry, script writing, programming, transcribing, digital marketing, among others, with advanced models expected to cause even more impact.
Lawyers, right now, in the US, some of them are actually using it. It can read police reports, and it's able to actually tell from the testimonials if there's any kind of contradictions in the testimonials.
So, is ChatGPT coming for your job?
These lecturers have to transform and become something else. A lecturer used to be the only one with a textbook. There was no Google. But nowadays, when they say factors affecting production, students are Googling you. So lecturers are never the ones who are first to hand to knowledge. So nowadays, you go to class not to teach. Nowadays, I go to class to moderate.
We're going to need human touch in all aspects, whether it's the creative industry. I talked about job displacement, yes, but we'll still need the human touch. The human touch aspect is critical. machines right now are not advanced to take over the humans.
As it currently stands, ChatGPT is free to use, but it's expected to start charging soon. Its major limitation, however, is the fact that it has no ability to browse the internet and get the latest information, but rather relies solely on the 2021 data it was trained on. In the US, New York City was the first to ban the use of ChatGPT, terming it an artificial intelligence-assisted cheating, a trend that has also seen top universities in France, India, among others, ban its use, citing plagiarism. ChatGPT rivals include Baidu's Ani and the recently released Bard by Google, with more tech firms currently working on the future of AI chatbots. Listen, ChatGPT is not capable of providing definitive answers to all questions. However, it's about time to think beyond its limitations. Even though some jobs could be replaced by AI, it's obvious that its development will definitely create new job opportunities that did not previously exist. So this is the future, and the future is now. Welcome to the future. Trevor Ngendo for KBC Channel 1, Nairobi.
Well done, Trevor. We now cross over to the National Assembly, where Tourism Cabinet Secretary Penina Malonza is facing the National Assembly Committee on Tourism and Wildlife on her conduct during a conference held in Jamaica. Let's cross over and listen in.
Chairperson. And I think I got in touch with the chair when I was in Jamaica, and we discussed about the issue. I apologized, and we agreed that I will be here today so that we can work together and we can seek concurrence on the deliberation that they have had this morning in my absentia. Allow me to commend this honorable committee and chair for the great work they've done. We began discussing when I was in Jamaica, and you would hear their heartbeat and their passion for this ministry. And I want to say that I have the right committee on board, because this is the speed we need, and this is the momentum we need for this ministry. Coming back to the budget today, I want to concur with what the chairman has said and the committee as a whole, that he did. The Minister of Tourism, when we talk about development budget, we're talking about actually traveling and marketing. And so this ministry is actually a part B of Foreign Affairs Ministry, because our main agenda and mandate is to market Kenya globally, regionally, and at domestic level. And that's why when we talk about our domestic budget, is not on development, is not on building or infrastructure per se, because we are anchored, and we have so many other ministries who serve as our enablers, like Ministry of Transport, who are doing the roads within the parks, and also Ministry of Trade, who are also working with us. And so allow me to say that indeed I sit in the cabinet, and you understand where we are as a country. We're really not doing very well economically, and we sought ways of saving from our ministries here and there. And we decided that you're going to have a cut across all ministries, not only the Minister of Tourism, but across all ministries. But as you know, sometimes the cut is given to a ministry like Minister of Tourism that majorly, if you look at the development budget that was cut, 200 billion, which is more on traveling, and we have no money actually to travel out there and market. And that means that the ministry will be at any length crippled for the operations. And therefore, I want to concur with the chair and the honorable committee members that he did. This ministry is very vital. This is the ministry that brings 10% of GDP of this country. It is a ministry that is employing more than 1 million people in this country. And therefore, if we fund this ministry well, then it means that we're going to generate more forex revenue for this country. And we are actually going to be in a position to rescue our economy as a country. I'm just looking at our performance in the last few months. 4 months I've been in the office. And actually, I found the ministry at a level of only attracting 800 tourists, international tourists. Today, within 4 months, we are talking about 1,486,000 tourists flowing in this country, not even mentioning the 100 have come with this morning in KQ from US and from Jamaica. And therefore, this is one ministry. For me, I believe this is the ministry to rescue the economy of this country. And if we fund it well, believe me, our work is only to sell Kenya as a premier destination in Africa. And you know how Kenya is an authority, matters tourism and matters wildlife. And I believe that I want to concur with what Chair said and honorable members, that you did, even as you pursue to table the budget today in the afternoon. We plead with you that you'll argue our case. We're not looking for this money for luxury, but we're looking for this money to unlock the forex revenue that is out there, and I believe this is a ministry that can really unlock that. And if we have managed to reach also in terms of revenue, I would love to say that we are doing very well, because we are almost now eating where we were pre-COVID 2019. This ministry had attracted 246 billion. Today, when I came in, the ministry was at around 119. Today, as per this report that we will table tomorrow, we are at 268 billion. You know, and I believe that I believe that within the next two months or so, within the next 2 months or one, we'll actually overtake where we were in 2019, besides even the numbers being low. 2019, we...
Tourism Cabinet Secretary Penina Malonza putting her defense before the National Assembly Committee on Tourism and Wildlife on her conduct during a conference in Jamaica. My colleague Kevin Washira is on that bit. Be sure to catch up with him in our subsequent bulletins for events as they have unfolded. Now to the County of Kisumu. Information, Communication Technology and Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo says the government is keen on realization of the digital superhighway as a means of creating a cheap and sustainable platform to enable creative youths exploit their talents gainfully. Speaking in Kisumu as he inspected Studio Mashinani, a government project that aims at allowing talented Kenyans to record music for free, the CS revealed that the government is going full hog in ensuring the digital space is fully exploited and utilized.
The digital superhighway is a reality soon. We have already embarked on it. We envisage to roll out 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable. We have already mapped out all over the country where the cable is going to be laid out. We have already agreed at government levels with various players, stakeholders, as to what quantum the relevant entities are going to achieve or to roll out. Our target as government is to roll out 52% of or 52,000 kilometers for that matter, while 48,000 will be done by the private sector. We have, based on the mapping that we have done, that target of 100,000 kilometers is realistic and achievable. And I can state without fear of contradiction that we will be able to meet the target as advised. We will have internet everywhere. But also with specific regard to the youth, we are taking free internet to those areas where the youth are domiciled but are hitherto not enabled by way of internet. And what we are doing is that, apart from talking to the telecommunication companies to reduce the cost of data, which we are having at a different level, we are actually taking free internet to various parts of the country where the youth are domiciled, so that we don't have a situation of the youth having the talent, but they cannot get involved in digital entrepreneurship or digital jobs because of lack of internet. We envisage that we are going to roll out 25,000 free Wi-Fi hotspots all over the country. For a start, we have already rolled out 3 in Nairobi. We have done one at the City Market. We have done one at Motherhood Market. We have done another one at Kenyatta Market. We have done another free Wi-Fi hotspot in Nyeri. We have done Kapsabet, and we have done Kericho. We have done Ahero. We have done Bondo as well, just to mention but a few.
National Government Constituency Development Fund Chief Executive Officer Yusuf Mbuno has defended the role of legislators in operations of the fund. Mbuno argues under the new dispensation, the role of MPs was limited to oversight as opposed to management as was previously the case. According to Mbuno, the National Government Constituency Development Fund is autonomous and not under the control of the legislature.
Speaking at Chepseon Girls High School and Chepseon Complex in Kericho County while inspecting NG-CDF projects, National Government Constituency Development Fund Chief Executive Officer Yusuf Mbuno said under the new dispensation, MPs have no access to the funds.
Sheria na katiba yetu nasema kwamba tukifanya miradi ya maendeleo lazima maoni ya wananchi kwanza yatafutwe. Tuulize wananchi, mnataka miradi gani? Shida zenu ni zipi? Hapo mheshimiwa kama mwakilishi wa wananchi anaingia kuweza kumobilize wananchi waweze kufika katika mikutano ambayo inaitwa na chairman wa National Government CDF kutoa maoni yao.
Legislators have previously used the kitty for community development projects. However, with the NG-CDF fund managers in every constituency across the country, Mbuno argues managers will exercise their mandate independently.
Ripoti za Auditor General zinaenda katika bunge letu ambapo bunge linaweza kutathmini na kuuliza maswali, na kama kuna jambo lolote ambalo linahitaji ufuatilizi, hapo ndio wajumbe wanaingilia. Kwa hivyo kuna bunge lina kazi yake, wajumbe wana kazi yao, lakini katika utekelezaji tayari vile tunavyoongea wajumbe hawahusiki katika utekelezaji wa miradi ya maendeleo.
A section of MPs who accompanied members of the NG-CDF board defended the fund, saying it has assisted the less fortunate students achieve their dreams.
Sasa NG-CDF imesaidia kuequalize maisha ya Wakenya, mahali ambapo utapata mwanafunzi kutoka familia, the royal family, na familia kuu ama from the king's family, na yule ambaye mzazi hawezi akajimudu, yule ako chini, wanaenda shule moja na wanasoma pamoja.
In Kisii County, Women Representative Doris Aburi has singled out water provision to residents as our first priority in office. Speaking at Kiobegi in Nyamache sub-county, Aburi, accompanied by area leaders, vowed to avail water to the residents to enable them grow food at the time they grapple with the current severe drought.
Campaign pledge ilikuwa maji, agenda 1, 2 maji, 3 maji. Kwa nini? Kisii ni watu wanapenda ukulima na ni watu wako very serious na kazi yao. Sasa wakati wa ukame hatutaki watu wakose chakula. Ile maji tutawapatia ndio wafanyie irrigation, waweze kuwa self sufficient, kushinda kuomba chakula kila saa.
Wenye wanasumbuka kutafuta maji ni wanawake. As she has been saying, anataka kutoa vibuyu kwa vichwa vya wanawake. Hata mimi ninamuunga mkono, tunataka kushirikiana sana tutoe wanawake vibuyu kutoka vichwa vyao. Hivyo tunashirikiana na yeye kwa kila njia.
Ben Chumba, Lunchtime News.
You're watching the Lunchtime News. Glad you're part of us. We're taking a short commercial break. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.
get Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 as your skiza tune, dial *811 *967 hash.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not in your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 to 6.
To get Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5, dial *811 *967 hash. *811 *967 hash.
Finally found you, my darling. How about taking the day off to celebrate that things worked out so well for us? Take the day off and go to town to walk around and eat something. What do you think?
Why didn't you tell me the truth, Reynaldo?
I didn't say anything about what?
Why didn't you tell me that the person who rescued me on the beach wasn't you, but Ruben? Tell me!
And in any case, Denora, my only advice to you is for you to always remain at Rodrigo's side. Don't abandon him. Don't stay far from him and give him all the attention he needs.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know my story, but I'm telling you to keep her in sight. In fact, I can assure you that she needs your support right now. She needs it very, very much.
Enjoy a selection of the best. Regina Ray and Tingazi.
Bado hujamwambia unamlike. Umerealize hujamwachilia mkono kutoka nikuje hapa.
Love blossoms in Mexico with the trio sisters in Las Bandidas.
I beg you, please don't go.
I want you to be the happiest man in the world with a woman who appreciates and respects you.
An array of music rave.
Make me lie when I don't want to.
Blues.
You are my everything.
Two local jams. And we sit to chat with the Diambo.
You know, I can't even tell whether you're looking at me, seeing me. With the Louis Vuitton.
Classic comedy.
Makono too. That again.
Enjoy the Divas programming this February only on KBC Channel 1. Kenya's watching.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Welcome back. You're watching the Lunchtime News. Let's continue interacting on all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. Now, suspended Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Commissioner Irene has maintained that she is innocent of accusations that, together with 3 other commissioners, they tried to subvert the will of the people during the 2022 presidential election while appearing before the Justice Agri Muchelule-led tribunal that was established to probe the conduct of 4 IEBC commissioners accused of violating the Constitution after disowning the 2022 presidential election results. Masit, through her lawyer Donald Kipkorir, termed the evidence presented by witnesses as hearsay, saying it relied heavily on what was shown on television.
My Lord, the Supreme Court said all that needed to be said on the events of August 15. Why the lead counsel wants you to visit the events of August 15, we may never know, or we will know one time. My Lord, the doctrine of res judicata and stare decisis is again well established in our system. Once matters have been dealt with by any tribunal, by any court, with finality, it can never be revisited, my Lord. And I've again relied on decisions from our courts and from the Supreme Court of India. In fact, India expanded the doctrine and said it doesn't have to be only parties before the same parties before the court or before the tribunal, but the same issues. The issues of August 15, the Serena Conference, were determined by the Supreme Court. You are being asked to revisit the events, the meetings of 3 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. and surrender conference. All those issues were before the Supreme Court. And you're being told to revisit them again. You're being told to reopen one part, and they don't want you to reopen everything. Your Honor, don't accept the invitation by the lead counsel. But the impeachment trial said there were not malicious mistakes. There were innocent mistakes. He was a human being. But he said if you look at his conduct over time, he was a good judge, but he made mistakes. And he was acquitted in the impeachment trial. You are being asked to convict Commissioner Irene Masit on events of one day. All the witnesses, the 4 petitioners said they didn't know Irene Masit before August 15.
My Lord, Mr. Chair and members, there is evidence that specific people who are aligned to one political divide, and there's clear evidence on that, went to the rooms where the commissioner and others were staying. She did not rebut that evidence. She did not rebut it. And therefore, that evidence is unchallenged. The Article 81, Roman 5, provides the principles, and those principles are applicable. One is impartiality and neutrality.
We will retire as members of this tribunal to consider the evidence that was before us, tendered before us, consider the submissions, consider the law, and consider the Constitution, and find out what kind of recommendation we will give.
All right, and on that note, we cross over to business matters. My colleague Wairimo Njenga is on standby. Wairimo, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to Muchuma. How are you doing this afternoon?
Great.
Now we'll be looking this afternoon at the proposal by the government to allow SACCOs to join the national payment system. This will reduce the over-reliance on banks to clear checks and other commercial activities. And in studio with me, I am joined by Raymond Kipkoech Morel to talk about this proposal and also to delve deeper into the Hustlers Fund as SACCOs look forward to tapping this fund. And he is the chairman of Nafasi Deposit-Taking SACCO. Welcome to our studios.
Welcome.
Now let's start off with the proposal by the government for SACCOs to join the national payment system. How will this have an impact on the subsector?
Yeah, it will really have an impact on subsector, since the SACCOs will be in the phase 2 project of the ASLA fund. The government will reload the fund through the sector, and the SACCOs will be actually the intermediary in boosting, in giving out the loans to boost the livelihood of our members and our citizens. So SACCOs will be actually giving out the loans as a phase 2 project of the government, whereby now members, the SACCOs will serve as intermediaries. They will be given loans, and then they will be able to support the citizen.
Okay.
I know the phase 1 has been there to serve individual, but it's now will serve the groups and the chairmans.
Okay, maybe you can paint for us a picture of how the system is right now. Now we have the national payment, meaning that you will now be reduced reliance on financial and commercial banks. Paint us a picture of how you operate as a SACCO.
Yeah, the SACCO, the SASRA came up with a system of called National SACCO Central, whereby SACCOs have come up so that they can have what we call a SACCO Central, where they'll be dealing with national payment system. They'll be having the shared services, whereby the shared services, I mean, we have the issue of the technology, where we have SACCOs that can share technology. We know SACCOs, there are smaller SACCOs that they might not invest so much on technology. And then on top of that, there will be also the issue of the national payment system. There are 52 SACCOs that have come up, and the first SACCO is one of them, whereby it's one of the 52 SACCOs which will participate in the national, in that kind of the SACCO Central. One of the good things that you'll have is what we call national payment system, which SACCOs will be allowed to own checkbooks. They will be allowed to do the what we call the payment system, where like the one of the central bank, the check clearing. SACCOs will be allowed to have checks and be able to issue checks. The same time, through the SACCO Central, the SACCOs now will be able to lend to other SACCOs. We know SACCOs have issues of liquidity. They have issues of the finances, and we'll be able to have SACCOs that have good money, good, they have good liquidity, and they'll be able to share with other SACCOs. So national payment system will be one of those part of the system that the Second Central will be advocating.
You're talking about the credit, that is the establishment of our 1 billion shilling central liquidity facility for SACCOs. How will this also have an impact in terms of easing financial services as well as deepening financial inclusion?
Yeah, it will actually assist in such that most of the SACCOs, you can see the SACCO movement is controlling a lot of billions of money that's going in trillions. And most of these SACCOs rely so much on the banks. And when we have that central liquidity system, SACCOs now it deals with a small members, at the lower level, they'll be able to access those credits. We know there have been a problem in the past whereby small business, small individual in the SACCO are unable to access those credit facilities. But through the SACCO Central, we shall be able to mobilize funds through those individual SACCOs, and we shall be able to give members a lot of credit.
Okay. The subsector has contributed about close to 7% to the GDP.
Yes, sure.
Maybe as Nafasi SACCO, I'd like to know how you're positioning yourself, especially on the digital space, to ensure that you better service delivery as well as increase membership across board.
Yeah, Nafasi SACCO has actually positioned himself through this system, whereby we have invested a lot on our systems, we have invested a lot on our technology. Bearing in mind, Nafasi SACCO initially was called Nafaka SACCO, and Nafaka SACCO used to deal with members from National Cereals and Produce Board. Currently, we have opened our common bond, and that's why we rebranded ourselves to Nafasi SACCO. We want to position ourselves in the pyramid of the movement, such that we are able to serve members at our individual level. And one of the things that Nafasi SACCO has achieved is we are going to open a branch, which we have moved out of the common bond where we are, and we are able to reach the Mama Mboka, we are going to reach the small people. And on top of that, we have also invested so much heavily on the technology. We are serving our members through the IT systems. We have invested so much on the mobile technology, and we are able to serve our members on that.
Talking of Mama Mbogas and the people at the bottom of the pyramid, earlier on you had mentioned about tapping into the Hustlers Fund. I'd like you to expound more about how the SACCO and also other SACCOs can leverage on this fund to ensure that they increase the space in the SACCO industry.
Yeah, what the Mama Mboka and the space that we need to tap in is that the SACCOs, we have actually moved from the system of the SACCOs whereby we require members to save at a small level. What we have now is that SACCOs need to save, they do daily savings. If you go to Mama Mboka, border riders, they do what we call daily saving. So daily savings will really assist them. So wherever how small their savings are, or whatever deposit we have, we are able to assist them so that we can even be giving them daily loans, daily support, and they'll be able to capture that. So as a SACCO, Nafasi SACCO, we are positioning ourselves in that scenario whereby we are able to assist those Mama Mboka, we are able to assist those at however small their contribution is. We value that contribution, and we shall be able to assist them, and we actually build the economy of this.
Okay. Are you looking into tapping the retirees as well as the pension scheme to ensure that these retirees have a place to put their money once they retire? Is this something you're looking forward to?
Yes, we have looked at that. And as I said earlier, Nafasi SACCO was formerly Nafaka SACCO. And Nafaka SACCO was drawing members from National Cereals and Produce Board, whereby we have our aging membership. And we have come up with a product for the retirees. Currently, as a SACCO, we have mobilized their savings up to 120 million, whereby we have given them products that they are able to look at it. We are able to give them good product, a fixed deposit. We are to give them loans against those deposit. So actually, we have tapped on the retirees by giving them good products. We have even actually acted as giving them good services as far as their products. So actually, as Nafasi SACCO, we have actually assisted our retirees because we believe that in terms of the SACCO movement, there is no retirement, but they only exit from the formal employment and they go to the other side of the nini.
I don't know how you're planning maybe to increase when it comes to savings, because a report by the KNBS early in this year, they saw about 13 million Kenyans have no form of retirement savings scheme, and also the majority of them are in the informal sector. Are you looking to also bring them on board? And also, when it comes to this retirement product, can people who are about to retire also be part of this scheme, or how does it operate?
So how it operates is that we have given them products and we have talked to them through education. We have talked to our retirees who are about to retire, and we are telling them that these are the products we have. Though the retirement is under the RBA Act and the guidance of the RBA, we are able to capture, once the member retires, he goes to the different pension scheme and they get all of their money. And most of them, when they bring their money, they take to the bank and they don't have any. But what we have done as a SACCO, we have actually given them products against those products. We are able to save for them. We are able to have a product. One of the products that we have that we write as Nafasi SACCO is that we are able to have members that they are able, when a member is used to earning monthly salary, we are able to give them computing interest for them, and they're able to earn on monthly basis whatever interest they get, so that they get a life they enjoy when they are salaried, and now when they are not salaried, when retirement, they're able to transition slowly to retirement.
Okay, is this a product that can also be adopted by other SACCOs? Because we have seen retirees spend this money recklessly and also on things that are not helpful in their future. Is this something that can be adopted across board?
Yeah, it's a good product. If SACCOs can adopt, they can come to our SACCO and we show them how we are doing it, and it's a good product. We have done, like when my SACCO, we have never gone to the bank to get credit for the last 2 to 3 years, because we have been relying on our savings from our retirees, which we have used actually to give loans. So it's a good product that the SACCOs can, other SACCOs can emulate.
Thank you so much. That has been Kip Koech Morel, who is the chairman of the Nafasi Deposit Taking SACCO, talking about some of the various developments in the subsector, and also, you know very well, the government is about to roll out the national payment system, and also through this, banks or rather SACCOs can be able to lend to one another. That is it from me. Back to you, Muchuma. Let's now continue with today's business news, and top on today's business is the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, which is seeking to increase funding in agriculture data collection activities. Now, FAO Director General, he says that data from the Geospatial Program seeks to inform the amount and nature of investment in the agriculture sector in different regions of the country.
The government has been implementing the 10-year Agriculture Transformation and Growth Strategy with a countrywide registration of farmers. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, so far 4.2 million farmers have been registered. The Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, has committed 660 million shillings to fund the Kenya Integrated Agriculture Management Information System digitization program to increase digitization of key agriculture information that will drive policy reforms.
KIAMIS, as you remember, is the Agricultural Information and Management System, which is sponsored or supported by FAO and the Swedish government, and that was $5.2 million US. Was not really small support.
And they supported the digital Kenya, and then come to the big one now. It's a very timely project to get the digital Kenya will be on full run.
The data will inform tailor-made interventions for different parts of the country and guide investors on where to invest.
So through the professional dialogue and matchmaking cooperation, we will help you to make the agricultural transformation more efficient, more inclusive, more resilient, and more sustainable.
We've explained to him the challenges that we are having as a country, and especially with control and fight with the 4 armyworm and the Quillian bands.
FAO is also seeking to increase Kenya's tea and coffee comparative advantage through increased investments and branding.
It's an initiative on the one country, one special commodities. Kenya, you have a lot of famous commodities, but we can start one first. Tea, coffee, or others. And they make the Kenya is more attractive for the international tourists. That's also we have combined great jobs for the smallholder farmers.
Branding is expected to help Kenya increase tea and coffee. Benson Druba reporting for Lunchtime News.
Thank you, Benson, for that report. Now, the government is likely to abolish a requirement that foreign investors have a 30% local shareholding to promote foreign direct investment industry. Trade and Investment Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria says some clauses in the Companies Act of 2015 limit foreign firms bringing innovation and new technology into the country and is holding Kenya back from hitting the $10 billion FDI target for this year.
In June 2016, the Companies Act came into effect, requiring foreign investors setting up in Kenya to have 30% of their stake held by a Kenyan. This was meant to empower locals, allowing them to benefit from skills transfer and investment opportunities by businesses coming into the country. Industry, Trade and Investment Cabinet Secretary says this regulation is restricting companies looking to set up shop locally.
We have got this part in our statutes that requires international companies to have 30% local ownership if you are to set up some of the operations like data centers. Ladies and gentlemen, hiyo ni mambo ambayo imepitwa na wakati. That's where the whole is coming from.
He says the policy is now up for review and measures are being taken to restructure it to reach a favorable solution for all parties involved.
And we need to do only that which we can be able to achieve. If any part of our laws is not making any sense, if any part of our laws is not implementable, as a minister in charge of investment, I have said that I have an objective to raise FDI, foreign direct investment, from $500 million currently to $10 billion by the end of this year. I need to achieve my KPIs. I need these companies here. If it needs changing the law, I will change the law.
He says for fintechs, the business environment should be liberalized to keep up with global trends.
So in this regard, I am going to be taking to the cabinet this amendment to remove this regulation so that companies can come here and use this country to base their operation, especially for Africa and beyond, and so that we live with the times.
He, however, notes that such firms must have a local-centric operating model. The CS says the government is working on a digital directory for all enterprises to ensure foreign investors get a better insight into what Kenyan businesses can offer.
What we need here is jobs, and investment for our people.
And we hope within a short time we will have companies that will say these are our champion entities and you can be able to travel with them wherever you go.
Hibak Said for Lunchtime News.
Now, Housing Finance Group banking subsidiary HFC and Strathmore University Business School have partnered to empower small and medium enterprises with tailor-made financial solutions and training. The partnership targets SMEs within the manufacturing, real estate, healthcare, education and agriculture value chain sectors.
SMEs constitute 98% of all businesses in Kenya, responsible for 30% of jobs created annually. Despite their contribution to the economy, 46% of SMEs close within a year of founding due to challenges such as accessing credit and lack of technical know-how.
This partnership, as colleagues have said, will see us provide training opportunities to SMEs, both our clients and the clients of Strathmore.
If we push this partnership very well, we shall be supporting and growing so many people.
creating opportunities for them so that they can find a way of living in dignity.
HF Group's banking subsidiary HFC and Strathmore University Business School have come together to support SMEs through training and capacity building and provision of financial solutions.
This partnership, as colleagues have said, will see us provide training opportunities to SMEs, both our clients and the clients of Strathmore.
I think we also have a meeting of the minds around the big picture, which we are all called to address in this country, in this continent, around the need to create growing enterprises that will create employment opportunities for the so many young people who are leaving school and joining the labor market.
Under the partnership, HFC and Strathmore will leverage each other's expertise to create a supportive ecosystem specifically designed to propel SMEs to the next frontier of growth and economic contribution. Betty Kiptum, Lunchtime News.
We had lined up for you in the business and news this afternoon, but do join me in the evening for more business news. My name is Irene Mujenga. I now hand you over back to Irene Muchuma with today's sports.
Thank you. This afternoon, Jason Tatum scored an All-Star record 55 points to lead Team Yannick to victory over Team Lebron in the NBS annual showcase. Boston Celtics forward Tatum, now a four-time All-Star, was named most valuable player as he broke the previous record of 52 points set by Anthony Davis in 2017 after leading his team in a 184-175 victory over Team LeBron. Opposition captain LeBron James missed the